What's up, guys? This is my 2023 Honda Ruckus. It's kind of stock, but not completely, because it's got that repositioned and it has a battery tender on it. But that's not the point today. I'll do videos on that later. This is what I'm going to work on today, and it's a cheap $50 Amazon aftermarket exhaust. And it's basically going to be replacing that exhaust right there, and I know it doesn't fit because I did a test fit yesterday with my grandpa and it didn't fit. This pipe sticks out a little bit too much. I mean, it doesn't stick out, but the angle's wrong on it. But that's not what we're going to focus on today, because what we really need to do is take like a little file and file these in. I don't know if I want to take a drill to it yet, but if we can just file this in a little bit, it will actually fit on there. Then we can do like a test sound, and then we can worry about either bending this so that way it's, because technically the way it mounts is like this, and so it's going to be sticking out like that. But we could take like, I don't know, a little blowtorch to it or something and bend it in. Something like that. I don't know. I'm going to think of some redneck ways to jerry-rig this, but I think over here, so we have files here. We might just, I don't know, but you could just take one. Okay, we're taking a drill to it. So I think we just need a little bit of a smaller bit, but not that small of a bit, you know? Right here are the metal ones. So we can take, we can get it open. Here we go. I mean, we can just take one of these bits, kind of like brush up against there maybe, or take one of the same size, sort of, and kind of brush up against there. Just don't need to size up. I don't know. Yeah, so we take this. We can basically drill it out and widen that hole just a tad bit, but not a whole lot. Alright, so we got the drill all hooked up. So now, what we need to do, take this and just kind of widen the hole just a bit, I guess. Okay, that should be enough. We'll see. But we still need to take the old exhaust off, and it's completely cooled off. I haven't driven any today. We did have a little bit of an oil spill, and I did take it off the first time. I'm real unintelligent. But we do need 10 and 12 size bolts. So if we come right here, we can get a 12, a 10, and this was the one that I used a while ago. I think this is the wrong size in it. Yep. We need, oh, what are these? 1/2 inch. Yeah. So we need, not there, but I think it's the Jorbalet. Yeah. Which one actually worked? This one's seized. This one works for now. This one's just free floating. So many broken wrenches. I don't know, man. Not my shop, so I'm not gonna critique it, but so many broken ones. So I'm gonna go up under there. There'll be 2 little bolts. I'll take a picture of them and show you guys, but I don't think the GoPro's gonna fit under there. All right, so we got those 2 little bolts off. They're real small, so you don't want to lose them. So I'm just gonna move this over here and keep everything nice and organized so I don't lose them. I have done that, where you just lose them. So yeah, you do not want to lose these guys. But now we need to move on to these. Now we need to move on to these side ones. Though there's going to be this bolt right here, which is a size 12, and this bolt like deep in there, it's also size 12. This one's a size 10 though. Alright, so we got these two bolts out. This one obviously is the shorter one, so it's going to go on the top half, and this one's the longer one, so it's going to go on the bottom half. Now we're going to need to switch over to our 10 and get that bolt off. And actually, I'm going to teach you guys a quick tip. Get yourself a little rag, right? And we're not checking the oil, but as you see, I already made a mess with it a little while ago. But, yeah. Take this oil, and we just take that, and we put this somewhere safe, because that is usually in the way of this little bar here, and it smacks against it all the time. So we don't really want that, but we're gonna switch up from our 12 to the 10 and get this off. And this is a really short bolt, so it really shouldn't take much. Really, in all reality, yeah, it's just kind of pops off like this. So you get that part free, then you got this part free. So that is your old exhaust. Now, something did drop off here, and this is your gasket. You want to hold on to this. Probably need a new one. It's a little bit messed up, but that's all right. Now, I'm not going to put it on there right now because we do need to see if this still fits on it. Suppose we should probably do that first. All right, we finally got it mounted on there. It only took like 20-ish minutes. There's a socket, and whenever you go to put it in there and get it tight, the pipe would get too close to the socket and wouldn't release the socket. So I ended up having to use a wrench, like the weirdest configuration. Don't worry about it, but we got it on there. And all we have to do now is mount that with its gasket in there. And we can do a test fire, see what it sounds like. It did come with this little rubber mount, but I don't think it'll let them mount ever the right way. It's got like washers and a nut, I guess, in case you wanted. I don't know what they were thinking with this thing, but it's here and I'm not too complaintive of it. And all we have to do is basically mount it. It's gonna look goofy but it will work. Alright guys, so we got it tightened down pretty well. Not all the way, but it's also cheap metal, so I don't want to break it. So we're just gonna move all these tools out of the way, and this bolt, which has a built-in washer, which is kind of cool. But I think it's ready for its first test run. I'm gonna make sure to go through everything that's bolted down. It's not gonna fall off. It's gonna wobble. It looks dumb, yeah. You ain't driving anywhere on the road with this. I mean, it sticks. It's good thing I remember that. Otherwise, I'd be all over the floor. You gotta put this guy back in. We don't want oil going literally everywhere, like it did last time. I mean, those oil stains are. That's for me. Man, I'm kind of scared because I don't know if this is gonna. Ugh. All right, looks. It sounds so good. I mean, it doesn't sound happy, but it sounds good. And I'll go see. Check under here, make sure everything's all right. Wow, that gets hot. Woo. That has no insulation on it. Don't touch it. All right, so I put it in the vise with this little towel wrapped around the metal so that way I didn't completely scratch the paint. But I did kind of chip it a little there. I don't know if you can see it. Kind of just bent in. It's not going to be that big of a leak and really doesn't matter. So we bent it there, so angles in a little bit more harsher. And I bent it here as well. You can kind of see where it's warped. And it fits pretty good. I mean, it sticks out like that. But really, I don't care. It's good for me. So we're going to see if we can find a place to mount it on there. So that will be fun. Alright, so after countless tightening up the bolts and literally moving it while it was on there, like I bent this while it was in there, it's pretty close. I mean, it rubs up on here just a little bit, but that's just plastic, and really I'm not too concerned about it. You can still get to your dipstick and whatever. And it doesn't stick out that wide, much more than the stock one. And honestly, my leg's gonna stick out that wide anyways, so you know, it looks pretty good if you ask me, and it should start up and sound just the same. That's what I was hoping for. Yep, still sounds the same to me. Doesn't sound like it's what you call it, losing any exhaust. I mean, there's a tiny like pinhole. And his exhaust is probably going to leak anyways because it's not on there that good. But majority of it comes out of here. And looks to me like it's not doing that much damage. I'm not going to touch that because last time I did that, it was hot. I'm going to throw that through the window. I swear. Anyways. Yeah, so we're going to get this all cleaned up. I'm going to see where we can remount this. And I'm going to see how many bolts you need to take off. Take off this fender. Because there's one bolt there, one back in there. I think there's one right here. I know some of the cables are routed, like for this. I'm assuming that's my brake lines because they're hydraulic brakes. So I'd assume. Well, no. I don't know. Don't know. Don't care. I'm gonna see if I can zip tie these to somewhere so that way they don't get caught in the wheel, because that'd be a spaghetti-o. You probably just zip tie them to right here, or to themselves right back here. I'll see, but I'll get back to you if I do decide to remove this. Okay, so I'm back. I probably am gonna remove this because this fender, without the exhaust on it to hold it up, is gonna be kind of all over the place. Like, it wobbles a lot. I don't want that smacking my wheel, so we're going to take that off. I'm going to find a washer or something, mount that right about there, or maybe in behind it. No, that won't work. Okay, so right here, that's where we're going to mount this. It's not going to be as far back as it used to be, kind of out of my way. Mount it here or here, but I'm probably going to smack my back up against this a lot when I'm riding, but that's okay. So, we're going to see what size bolt that this uses. I'm assuming it's probably just a 10 like everything else is. Yep. And there should be one right there. I don't know if you can see it. I can't either, so it doesn't matter. It was kind of like right up on top of that thing. But this, if you see here, that cable, this little line, I guess, is routed through on top of this and goes into it. I'm hoping if I just take this off, that cable, you find somewhere to put it. This has a washer on it, so we're going to keep that in mind so we don't lose this. That is hanging off just by the underneath, so it's putting some stress on it, but I'm thinking for as light as it is, it's really not that heavy. Not as heavy as that was. Like this thing, I mean, it's a few pounds, probably 5, 7 something. This one's really light. You can just move it wherever, but it's pretty in place. I mean, it wiggles a little bit. It'll just, if you're pushing it, I don't know. We'll see when it gets warmer out, like this spring. So, you know, a month or so. I think actually this weekend we're supposed to have somewhat nice weather, like 50. We'll take it out for a test drive. There's plenty of tutorials on how to move these. I don't think you really guys need a tutorial on that. I'm not going to cut this down. This is a battery tender. Read your instructions. So really, that's the $55 Amazon exhaust. You just have to bend it to fit a Ruckus. But we will take this off, just if you guys are curious how to delete this, because I've never actually seen a video on how to get rid of this, but I think the last bolt is right there. It's this little guy right there. Think we should be able to get up in there? Because, yeah, it's like this weird little plastic. I think it should be finger loose now, so we can just undo that with our hands. Get up in there. Try not to lose that washer in the engine. That'd be a little sucky. Now, we're going to see. I have the service manuals in that backpack right there, so if we really needed to take a look at them, we could, but I think it should just kind of slide out. Oh, no. What's going on in here? Oh, okay. Give me my fender! Hey, there's a leaf in there. Ah, I see. So there's this like little white clip, and it's part of the fender. So if you just take out that cable that's in it, should be a little bit easier to remove. See if I can just move that cable. Alright, now this is completely free. It's just choosing not to come out. Alright, let's see what we got going on in here. It is behind the suspension. Great. I think if you just angle this. Well, it's sort of coming out, but not really. It's caught up on something right back there. I'm hoping there's not another bolt that I need to get. No, there's not. I don't think. No. It's just caught up on something there. Alright, there we go. We got it. That is your fender. Your rear one, at least. I'm gonna keep the front one on there. It keeps stuff. That doesn't look too bad without one. It looks pretty nice, actually. Really, I don't think it protected anything because it's got dirt and dust on it. That's just your suspension. Really didn't protect much because there's a leaf right next to the carburetor. That's nice. Yeah, so it's gonna look pretty nice. Looks good to me, honestly, if you ask me, without a fender. I think that's gonna be it for today. I'll just get this reattached, and I'll see you guys later.